School of Management Studies IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 008 Information Systems for Managers for MBA program. Block 2 Information Systems Unit 7 Transaction Processing Systems DSS and EIS Part 1.
Introduction. We know the importance of knowledge. It is considered to be a supreme source for all activities. Well-appreciated strategic decisions are the outcome of good knowledge. Acquirement of knowledge at one point of time and continuous updating keeps a person fit for business survival in the competitive environment. Learning from personal experience is one way of gaining knowledge. Knowledge gained through sources like education, interaction with others, and other means is comparatively faster. Information enriches the knowledge. Role of information and knowledge in managerial decision-making is inevitable in nature. In managerial functions, knowledge integrates the activities of different departments and enables the decision-maker to take right decisions. Further information enriches the managers about the latest scenario on the vital areas of functional management like finance, marketing, human resource and operations. Information is not only the foundation for any business, it also plays the role of bricks in building up the business decisions. The generation and dissemination of information should be a continuous process in the organization. In this unit, you will get an overview of basic information systems with focus on functional areas. The coming 2 units will deal with HR and marketing management and operations and financial management respectively. Objectives. After reading this unit, you should be able to describe the importance of information in managerial functions, identify the role of information, identify and appreciate the basic information systems, diagnose the situation for development of information system, and attribute the role of information systems in functional areas of management. Information from data. In simple terms, information is defined as the processed form of statistical data. It is important to note that information and data are different to connote, but they are interrelated. The raw data collected about any phenomenon may be used to generate the required information. While processing the data for the information, one needs to keep the following in mind. Data should be accurate, data should be relevant, data should be complete, data should be time-sensitive. Information processing from the raw data can be represented as information funnel. Procurement of correct information in right time is one of the important aspects for business decisions. Having the right information in hand, business organization can be proactive in its activities to maximize the business profits. Information from data is generated by going into different stages in the process. They could be stated as summarizing, data trimming or mining, presentation, and indexing. Data collected for want of information are usually available in the form of questionnaire, schedules, note, or the official unclassified formats. They could be secondary data as well from the web. The first step towards the analysis is summarizing, that is, bringing the data into the required form of tables or arrays so that further treatment of data is possible. Grouping of the data under different category will enable the analyst to identify a specific tool for analysis. The computerized data processing for summarizing the data through selected software expedites the process. Data trimming is the condensation or consolidation of statistical data for retrieving information. There are specific statistical data reduction tools for trimming the data. Depending upon the nature of the data and the objectives of the study, the tools are decided. For example, with the application of statistical packages related to the inventory problems, it is possible to derive information, say, for reordering of items with sufficient lead time so that production does not get stopped because unavailability of an item. The results obtained after data trimming needs to be related to the objective for the meaningful representation. The process of depicting the statistical results in the desired form, charts, diagrams, schematic representation, etc., is called presentation. The presented results will reveal the information in a better way. Information as an object could be derived from the presented results. Indexing or codification of the results is required for further processing of information like storage and retrieval, modification, converting into electronic mode for communication, etc. The codification is the base for presenting the information on web pages. In the internet search, the codes are recognized by the computer at a greater speed to retrieve them from the data dictionary or catalog. The big computer databases are designed and used for data retrieval through proper indexing of the data. Thus, raw data collected from the field becomes information in the final form. Types of information. Information retrieved from raw data could be classified in different categories as 1. Facts, 2. Assumptions, 3. Collateral information, 4. Fragmentary information, 5. Irrelevant information. Facts are the accurate information. The information generated with the assumption of mathematical models is called reliable information without any uncertainty. In some statistical analysis, certain amount of probability is used to predict the required results. Such information may not be 100% true. This type of information is called information based on assumptions. The other type of information is called collateral and fragmentary information. This type of information cannot be directly retrieved but is a parallel source of information. It is not considered to be reliable. Such sources need to be investigated for acceptance. The manager responsible for taking decisions require sufficient information from the relevant records available with the organization and, if need be, from the web also. The term information means collection of facts from which business decisions can be drawn. Facts and figures collected in this connection will enable the company to go for a valid decision. Information in managerial functions. At operational level, organization gets in contact with public for information procurement and dissemination. All types of input available from various sources are gathered at this level. The routine office work like maintaining inward register, maintaining of public relations, undertaking the external requirement, etc. are mostly done at this level. Though no decision-making process is carried out, proper accumulation of data has to be done at this level for further processing. Hence, it is sufficient to have a trained manpower that can act as per the computer-assisted instructions. At middle level of management, the input obtained from internal and external sources of information will be processed for strategic decisions. This level consists of middle-level managers who can contribute significantly for the development of organization. Different options available for each of the objectives are evaluated carefully using the scientific tools of analysis, and outcomes are reported. The role of middle-level decision process is considered to be very crucial because the output received from this level is taken as input for tactical decision making. The highest level in this hierarchy is the tactical decisions. This is the decision-making group which should ultimately be supported by the online information. To highlight the information needs of the organization, the sources are classified as internal and external. In general, the internal data sources for any organization, irrespective of its nature, are accounting control, plans and budgets, payroll, HR, inventory, sales forecasting, purchase, transportation and distribution, queuing, operations, R&D, etc. Similarly, the external sources could be economic factors, environmental factors, market trend or constraints, labor-oriented problems, etc. Educating the managers of the companies to understand the information generation, treatment of information and applications in real decision-making is very essential. The task of information generation, process of information, management of information, and timely communication or dissemination is interrelated, and hence a systematic approach is required. As the business decisions are based on the available information, adequate care should be taken to have the right information. The information perspective in an organization is viewed categorically for managers as well as for the organization. The managers use the information as an object for managerial decisions, as a construct to build up the organization, and tools to gain explicit and tacit knowledge. But for the point of view of the management, information should be treated as a resource, as perception pattern for the development, as a commodity to be appreciated, and as constituent force to meet the internal and external changes. Information systems in management. Information handling in an organization should be a systematic process. Generally, systems are created to solve problems. One can think of the systems approach as an organized way of dealing with the problem. A collection of components that work together to realize some objective forms a system. Basically, there are three major components in every system, namely input, processing, and output. In a system, the different components are connected with each other and they are interdependent. For example, human body represents a complete natural system. We all are bound by many national systems such as political system, economic system, educational system, health and hospital system, and so forth. The objectives of the system demand that some output is produced as a result of processing the suitable inputs. In business information processing system, input is received as data and instructions. Processing is done under the defined instructions and then output is generated. The inputs to the system may be from a data file, internet source, or manual feed. Further, the system interacts with human or computers to support the operational and managerial decision-making of an organization. The managers should be well aware of the information systems because the amount to be spent on the information system should have positive effect on profit making. It increases business awareness, promotes business re-engineering, and enables total quality management to the managers. If the managers are not acquainted with the information system, significant amount will be wasted on automating ineffective process, or at the extreme, companies can fail as a result of poor management. The organization expands in the direction of information expansion. Flexibilities in information handling help the managers to take advantage of all business opportunities irrespective of small or large-scale enterprises. Some of the important implications about the IS deployment and management on information are as follows. 1. Information system will contribute substantially to the managers in their effective decision-making to achieve the organizational objectives. 2. Information system will enrich the organization to meet the competitive challenges. 3. Adequate knowledge from the past experience will help the managers to integrate the business strategy. 4. Information system will provide sufficient awareness about the external components to react accordingly. 5. Information system is required to take right decisions in right time. The effectiveness of information management can be measured by the extent of knowledge creation or innovation in organizations. The process approach to information management supports the integration of business strategy and information. Some of the important implications about information management are as follows. 1. If information is conceptualized as a process, it can be integrated into strategy formation. 2. Information management should account the information as an object and as a construct. 3. It has a role in enhancing the information capabilities of individuals in organizations. 4. Almost all managerial activities have an information component. So, information management practice should be responsive to the needs of managers as information users and as information producers or knowledge creators. The importance of information in management is further emphasized by the fact that much of management is primarily decision-making. While there are several views of what constitute management, the generally accepted planning, organizing, coordinating, directing, and control are all concerned with decision-making. Several functional areas of management, viz., personnel, marketing, production, finance and services, will be significantly influenced by the information system that are to be implemented in an organization. Information once acquired need to be communicated promptly to various departments as per their requirement. The free exchange of information in an organization is called information flow. Information flow integrates various levels of management discussed earlier. Operational decisions deals with a large volume of internal data. The middle management is concerned with medium range or tactical decisions required for much less information. The top management being concerned with long-term or strategic decisions requires for just a few vital internal information but a lot of external information. The successful information system should take into account such a pattern of information needs by the management. All the 4 major areas of management are interrelated. Creating a master database comprising of the activities of the organization, irrespective of the specific area, is a must. It should be possible to retrieve the data for any further information. This kind of approach is called integrated approach. The master database created should be flexible to have the following features. 1. Distribute and share the data on network. 2. Normalized to accept the unique characteristics. 3. Capable of automatic updating. 4. Quick query. Programmed and non-programmed decisions. Managerial decisions are classified into programmed and non-programmed categories. There are some situations in which the analytical methods of decision-making are possible, and in some other situations, one need to apply the intuitive methods of decision-making. Programmed decisions are those that can easily be automated, like the determination of optimal product mix, minimum cost production schedule, optimal sequencing of machines to minimize mean flow time, etc. Generally, large data and a few decision rules or algorithms that use the data in an automated fashion to arrive at an optimal plan characterize such decisions. Techniques of operations research like linear programming represent a typical example of this category of decisions that use formal data and algorithms. Naturally, such decisions are easily programmed. In other words, they can be represented as an algorithmic procedure into unambiguous instructions whose step-by-step execution will lead the optimal result. Since these algorithms are likely to be codified in the form of a computer program and run on a digital computer, they are programmable or programmed decisions. The key to such programmability is the underlying structure of these decision situations that permit an algorithmic translation. Many of the programmed decisions may need the most challenging algorithms involving the best brains available at that moment for their solution. Nevertheless, they are translatable into algorithmic procedures. Simon's predictions of the 50s have practically come true in the 90s. This is borne out by the large number of decision support systems that use data and models to automate such decisions like reorder levels in materials and production control, control limits for process resetting, etc. Information support for such program decisions can be designed rather easily. Non-program decisions, on the other hand, do not lend themselves to easy automation. The model support for such program decisions would need more of heuristics rather than optimal algorithms. Optimization algorithms, as mentioned earlier, are formalized procedures readily implemented as a finitely terminating computer programs with guaranteed outcome of optimal solutions whenever they exist. Heuristics, on the contrary, generally yield near optimal, if not the optimal solution, but cannot guarantee optimality. The heuristics themselves may be implemented in the form of an algorithmic procedure and solved on a computer. However, the decision situation may not have admitted any optimal algorithm. The interesting developments in complexity theory of the theoretical computer science also led to an interesting observation that for many interesting optimization problems, heuristics are necessary as no optimization algorithms with reasonable estimates of computational performance are known to exist. This idea led to the heuristic problem-solving approach, where one gets good solutions and even optimal solutions, but optimality cannot be guaranteed. Such heuristic procedures for the solution of many real-world problems in the area of scheduling and resource allocation have been found to be extremely successful. Over the years, the programmed and non-programmed decisions have also been known as structured and unstructured decisions. While designing information systems, one should keep this vital difference between the two types of decisions in mind. Flexible access to data, user-friendliness, graphical user interfaces, natural language support, what-if analysis, capability, etc. characterize information support for non-programmed decisions. Example for programmed decisions. Consider the problem faced frequently by a small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in deciding about the size to be ordered to maximize the profit on consumable items. Say, number of units of food packets. The small-scale enterprise is doing the business of trading between the wholesaler and retailer. The purchase price per unit is P1 and the selling price is P2, where P1 is less than P2. The unsold item for the season, for the day, will make a loss to the dealer, and hence the dealer will be able to return it at the lower price, P3, where P1 is greater than P3. The objective is to decide about the number of units to be ordered to maximize the profit. The intuitive approach to this problem will lead to problem-specific and cannot be conceptualized. It is better to think of using structured analysis or analytical approach. Once the problem is conceptualized, we can give the mathematical function to the problem. The mathematical formulation to find the profit to this problem with the above notation is profit P2 minus P1 multiplied by Q if D is greater than or equal to Q. P2 minus P1 multiplied by D minus P1 minus P3 multiplied by Q minus D if D is lesser than Q. The model defined above could be used for any available quantities of D and Q. The advantages of this model are 1. The system is open to anyone in the organization for application. 2. Instantaneous and accurate calculation is possible. 3. Enables computerization of the system. 4. Flexible for review or modification. This kind of approach is called systematic approach or programmable decisions, which is the base for the system development for retrieval of information. Example for non-programmed decisions. Managers are quite efficient to make better decisions as they have got a great deal of experience. Sometimes decisions need to be taken in the light of the situation and not in general. The persons who are in the field for quite some time will understand easily and the decision can be taken accordingly. For example, to commission a power plant, conducting an in-house survey about the past performance of the plant is sufficient to gain adequate information instead of going for a generalized study. In non-program decisions, the conclusions could be arrived through the following simple steps. 1. Identify the problem. 2. Identify the alternatives. 3. Select the best alternative. Though the program decisions are considered to be more accurate, there are some situations in which the assumptions made under this category cannot be fully practical, and hence the approach of non-program decisions are used. If the decision maker is well experienced, no doubt the accuracy could be maintained and admit that the experience improves the problem solving. Environmental and competitive information system. The information system developed for business purposes should take into account all the conditions which affect the business transactions. Usually, the two major factors responsible for the business changes are the environmental conditions, local and global, and the comparative factors. Successful development of information systems should have been based on the deep understanding of the organizational structure and dynamics of the enterprise also. For production department, the assignment of jobs to machines or machines to operators in a production environment is very important. For a service organization like hospital, it may be a duty rosters for nurses, doctors, or other paramedical staff. Such schedules must be detailed and unambiguous reports could be produced in large number at relatively low cost. Most of the information contained in such reports is internal, to the special shop or hospital. Some organizations are goal-oriented. The analyst must be clear as to what information exactly needs to be collected, stored, and analyzed. Since every information must have a context, only operational information that ultimately has some decision-making contribution must be collected. Secondly, the information collected and processed must be consistent with the level of organization to which it is to be presented. Organizations have not only found out the immense utility of information systems to better manage their organizations, but are also feeling the potential of the competitive advantage provided by information as a source. The classic example of the use of information for competitive advantage is airline reservation system and the frequent flyer option introduced by airlines the world over. These are examples that illustrate the use of information not just to run business effectively, but also to open up new business vistas. Similarly, festive seasons offer by retailers and credits given to customers by them beyond certain limit of purchases could be another example. The payroll represents a typical operational system for the financial management. Since such systems must execute accurately data pertaining to a large number of staff in a timely manner, month after month, cost-based efficiency and speed would be a major consideration in the design of such a system. Detailed sales analysis is a must for any sales and marketing function. This might involve a very detailed data collection and processing pertaining to every salesman, every product over a long time span of an entire year, or a quarter with even details of the region, market segment, etc. Accuracy and timelines of this effort would decide the quality of tactical and strategic decisions that may be based on summary information generated out of this data. Accuracy and desegregation would be the watchword for such detailed data collection effort. Naturally, information systems must have summary information with provision for detailed information to provide such information. Comparative analysis shift-wise, plant-wise, machine-wise, operator-wise, etc. may be necessary. The watchword would be insight and analysis and not mere reporting of data variance analysis for the finance function would call for systems that point out deficiencies, cost overruns, budget access by carefully matching goal or target information with summary information generated by operational data. Once again, the accuracy is important, but what is more important is the clear recognition and highlighting of patterns that can help the decision maker to initiate action and bring systems under control. Timelines is a must, as the systems must be reset before it is too late. A tactical system under personnel function is the performance appraisal, which would take into account, among several other things, the individual employee leave records. The details may not be that important, but patterns are. Whenever they are clearly visible, certain policy conformance may also be checked through such analysis. Since decisions based on such systems are likely to have medium to long-term impact, accuracy should not be underestimated while keeping the priority of analysis. Advertising information system is another example of tactical information system for the marketing function of the management. Needless to say, planning for advertisement would use much of the information generated by detailed sales analysis and operational MIS system. But to be able to decide on the levels of advertisement, mix of advertisement, budget for advertisement, etc., calls for certain policy parameters as well as environmental, outside organization information. This point must be clearly borne in mind in designing MIS for tactical decision situations. A strategic decision by the production function of the management is a new plant location. This would use much of the internal information generated by the tactical system designed to analyze the production bottleneck, that is, internal to the organization. But a long-term decision like location of a new plant is likely to be influenced far more by environmental information like changing market, changing technology, changing fiscal and governmental policy like deregulation, tax incentive for backward area, etc. Obviously, strategic information systems should have a mechanism of scanning and assimilating environmental information that are likely to influence strategic decisions in a systematic way. For the finance discipline, alternative financing is a strategic decision. It will use a summary status information about the internal finances of the company, including payroll, budget, overruns, variance analysis, etc., but will be primarily governed by long-term policy, business environment, etc., that are strategically important to the survival and growth of the organization. Information support for such strategic decision would call for substantial external information supplemented with internal financial health indicators. Decision concerning welfare policy of an organization is a strategic decision that must be faced by personnel, also known as human resource development management. It will be tempered by internal information about staff size, their quality, and the compensation package, etc., but the strategic decision will be governed by the future vision for the organization as seen by the top management as well as the labor market conditions of the environment. Being a long-term decision with major impact on the corporate health of the organization, this strategic decision need to be supported by a balanced blend of external and internal information. While we take primarily the decision-making role of the management in the design of the information systems, care must be taken into account the stark realities of managerial work style. The diversity of managerial work, the interpersonal dynamics, politics of people, resistance to change, etc., must also be taken into account. These are issues beyond the scope of this text, but must be taken into account in the same actual implementation. A strategic decision for the marketing function is a survey of competition and the resulting strategy of gaining market share. While a detailed analysis of in-company sales and advertising is a necessary prerequisite, much will depend on the present and future strategies of these competitors who are external to the environment. Once again, this brings to the focus the importance of external factors for strategic decision, policy like deregulation, tax incentive for backward area, etc. Obviously, strategic information systems should have a mechanism of scanning and assimilating environmental information that are likely to influence strategic decisions in a systematic way.
We were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program, course code Mmpc 008, Information Systems for Managers. Course Coordinator, Professor Anurag Saxena, School of Management Studies IGNOU. Voiceover by Renuka. Edited by Ruchi Sharma. Program assisted by Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.